Hi, hello. This next project is dedicated to you, Garden Gnome House. They need a nice view to look out their window. First off, what was here that I cleaned all out was this was Eve's litter box little corner. I had like a small rug here. And what I'm going to change it to, and what I'm going to do, is I'm going to remove this door. What's behind this door, you may ask? The scary attic. Oh no. So I'm going to take this door off, and then there's these 2x4s here, and I have some extra wood from a project. Are we surprised? And I'm going to screw it onto here, and I'm going to probably just use a piece of cardboard or something for the back panel of it. Eve's box will then be in this little cubby hole type thing. So I have the MDF that I got from Home Depot, and that's medium fiber density fiber board. Did I mention I'm dyslexic? And so, yeah, and the best part about all of it is how I'm going to blend it in with the theme of like this cottagecore whimsical area up here. I'm actually going to, out of the MDF, I'm going to make the doorway to Eve's litter box a little archway. I'll probably make it a little more narrow, but it'll be tall enough so that I'm able to get in there and scoop the dew. And so then that way also, I don't have to make the box behind it as big if the door is only like comes up to here, let's say. I don't have to make it that big. I'm gonna put that in front of this wall, and I'm gonna have it come off the wall enough so it can sit right in front of this here, or this little quarter round at the bottom. I'm gonna take that off, and then I'm just gonna use my nail gun, and I'm just gonna put it right into the molding there, because what's another couple nail holes and some molding? That's the vision. So with that, let's get started cutting that MDF, shall we? Hi, howdy, welcome to the stairs. And if my fireplace project told you anything about me, here's what my measurements say. Really do 76 1/4 on the one side, and then on the other I said 44 1/2, but really do 1/8 less. And we'll get that cut and we'll go from there. Okay, so after I got the large piece cut in the right spot, I still have to fit it, but if anything, it's going to be too tall, so it's not in the end of the world to cut some off. But while that's sitting, I'm going to take the other end that I didn't use, and I'm going to use it for the doorway. And so on the left is what I'm going to do to cut the doorway piece out of the larger triangle bit, and then this is going to be what I'm cutting right now. And so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the back panel, and the way I have it measured out, it doesn't fit entirely, but I'm going to just glue a piece or something because it's a smaller triangle that isn't working. And then I need to measure out if I have the MDF for the side pieces, otherwise this will just be for the back. The back panel actually was fuller than I thought it was going to be, so that's great. The other piece that was the other spare part of that is not going to be big enough to host the side panels. I'm actually going to try to cut the side panels out of the doorway piece of this larger one that I'm cutting. We'll see if those can hold it. Otherwise, I will find a different method. And my ideas for that are mainly just like cardboard. I'll finagle it. I'll figure out a way, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If all went correctly, turn off the clock. Noted. So this gap at the top is fine. I'm not terribly worried about it because all I have to do is cut a small notch out of the corner at the bottom there for the trim on the other side of the wall. I'm pleased. Let's hop back over and see if the other pieces are going to fit for the sides of this thing. Before we jump back over there, I did cut off that piece in the corner. So now this is pretty nice. Also, this is on purpose that this is offset on the door because I didn't want it to be the full width of the door, and I kind of like it, the symmetry, because I might like paint on this piece to make it look like some sort of like an actual house front, because I think that's really cute. We'll take that W, and then I'm pretty sure there's an L waiting over there because I do not think that the middle door piece is tall enough for the inside. So let's head back over there and grapple with that. Oh, after a brief 30-minute break, I have come up with concepts. Okay, so this was the extra piece off of some other piece that I just cut, and there'll be a piece of wood here and here along the back of it that will just be glued, and it'll be like sutures to hold this on here like this. Just have to cut a bit off of this, and that will be great. This piece I have to cut off a couple inches. That being said, the top of the box is definitely going to be cardboard, and honestly, it's for the best because it'll be light and it will be easy to template out and make fit. And we will get her going. Hi, hello. I'm coming at you directly from the floor. You're gonna love this one. So nice, she did it twice. From there, then, we have to attach these things. So here's what I should have done in the first place, but I was too lazy and I needed to be proved wrong. I just had Nathan come up. He helped hold it while I put the clamps on it. I'm gonna take this piece of scrap and I'm going to cut it into triangles, and I'm gonna brace this corner. We're gonna use wood glue because she said that it's mostly made of wood-like fiber, so it would work well on it, which makes sense. I'm gonna get these cut up and then we will get to gluing. Hey yo, my pants are wrinkly and I'm ready to get started. Bone came over to say hi. What I really want to know with this is, will it be stable? I was going to make a self-deprecating joke, but I won't do that. So far, so good. All that's left to do is that on this side, which I feel like easier said than done. Hi, hello from Eve's new litter box. I ended up not liking the lighter ancient marble color, so what I decided to do is over here with the trinket wall, I have it's actually two-toned, and so I painted the inside of this like light peachy. I painted the other color on the first thing we're going to do is I have something very exciting to share. I don't know if you caught it in the sketch or my subtle, maybe not so subtle hints. This wall, I have alluded to it as it being a mystery wall. The day has come. It is no longer a mystery wall. Let it be known as my new wallpapered wall. I searched far and wide on Pinterest for a wallpaper for this wall that was going to be dark academia-esque, but not like library. This is just the one that felt right. It's called Bird Floral, Mahogany and Graphite. Oh, for real? Word. Miss ma'am. I was just playing with her before I started recording, and so she's still in the mood. I don't know about you, but I was an I Spy kid, and I'm not talking about like silly ones. I'll try to put pictures on the screen where it's like actually kind of hard to find items when you're a kid. I wanted for this wallpaper was something similar to that, where the longer you look, the more you see. I went with this wallpaper because at first you're like, oh yeah, no, that's cute. That's just flowers and something. The pattern is obscure enough and the colors are similar enough that like, yeah, you do see birds, but the longer you look, the more birds you see. Also, what I liked about it is like, if you look close, it's kind of like drawn on. Like, it's not super serious. It's very much artsy fartsy. I'm going to start at that end of the wall, because if I end up not having enough of this, I'd rather there be a bald spot behind this futon than over there. So, my lovely landlord left a bunch of molding stuff. What I'm going to do to attach the wall to this wall is I'm going to attach these to the wall here, on the side down there, and right here. What that's going to do is allow me to have a perimeter I can attach things to. I have this other really long piece on the floor that literally doesn't stand up over here, and the bottom of it's white. The bottom of the actual trim is white, and so that'll be really great because then it will blend in with the wall here. Anyway, I'm going to get those pieces cut to length real quick. Okay, now's my least favorite part of sitting here with a creaky attic thingy open and having to reach inside. Okay, so that's off. That can just, and that's it. And now, this goes through. Yeah, this is gonna go in here like that. Go. With that, let's do some pokey poke of nails through the big front piece. Need to put on my hearing protection. It's perfect. And here we see a wild Eve sniffing in her soon-to-be natural habitat. She drops the stinkiest of dumps, and she's still a princess. So, with that being bound, what do you say we get started on finishing setting that up? Say less. She's questioning the ceiling. She's like, what? And why I couldn't leave it open at the top. I was like, this hoe will dead ass try to jump into the attic. Fits perfectly. And I am thinking that whenever I do the wood, whatever thing that I'm doing, I might add like a little archway around this. And I might add a little sign that says Eve something. And then I have to wait till the paint cures for like another 24 hours or something before I stick anything to it. And I have a bunch of these little frames. I'm just going to use these and I'm going to make like a little collage wall. What we've got going on is I printed out a bunch of pictures of the big baby, the one and only, the cutest girl, the best babe. She is so cute. Oh, there's also this one, this gem. The other day I miscut a bunch of printer paper. Little loops on the backs of these. I can move these around and figure out the kind of placement that I like for them. Also, I'm very, very, very excited to put my clock back up because girly pop. I don't know about you. I very much rather look at a glance at a clock on the wall than pick up my phone and potentially be distracted by what's going on it. I really enjoy not being like absolutely tethered to my phone. Having a clock on the wall is super nice when you're crafting because a lot of the time when I'm crafting, my phone is literally halfway across the room. With all of these, I'm going to take you over there and we're going to see how we want to lay this out. I literally cannot be bothered to look up inspo pics. So we're just going to, futz around and find out and put it wherever feels right. I don't really know where that is. Before I had my clock hung up here and I was like, okay, well that's kind of nice. That's great. But like I couldn't see it from the bed over there. I would have to look at my phone if I was laying in bed to put it in the center here because I mean that could be kind of cool, especially if I paint like the rim of my clock. I don't think it's I wouldn't call it a rim. The outside circle of the clock. Also, I may or may not be putting battery powered sconces on this. Okay, that's a little better. Now you can actually see what I'm talking about. I do think That looks cool. Next, we're gonna put another one right here. I'm not gonna worry about these being exactly straight. I just need like a general gist of where I want them. Next, could be cool. Okay. I want to also play with like the negative space between them, but I'm pretty sure I have clear thumbtacks somewhere, and I think it'd be cool if I used those and then I have some of this like spine stuff, and that'd be cool, you know, like weaved in and around the pictures. Maybe Eve's trying to help me. She's climbing in the box because she wants to know what I'm doing. That looks kind of cool. The thing I like about this is that this is going to be command strip, so I can rearrange this whenever I gosh darn feel like it. That's pretty magical. I also need to hold the clock up because it just looks like a moon and I can't unsee it. Let's see. Do I like that? I mean, it's kind of cool for right now. I got this because our back door doesn't have any light back there, like any like one of these. And I was like, okay, well, it was wintertime and so like it's really dark out when I go to work. It's Joey. But then we didn't want to drill it into the brick outside. Or we just procrastinated long enough that it's springtime and it's getting light out, so we don't need it. Therefore, I was thinking maybe I would just put this right there. I feel like that's really cute, especially with the clock. I'm going to go ahead and get the command strips. Also, tomorrow, I don't know when you'll see me next, but you'll see me with short hair eventually. But tomorrow, I'm getting my hair chopped off again because like I like having long hair, but as you can see, like the bottom of my hair, it gets like a little wavy after I sleep on it, and like the body heat of my body like straightens it. This bottom part, it doesn't like to curl. So I like to just keep it short because when it's short, it stays nice and curly and it's heckin' cute as heck. So I'm gonna put this one on the horizontal one because I want to see Eve as a heckin' witch all the heckin' time. So that one's gonna go right here. This one's gonna go right here. Oh no. That worked out like I thought it would. Noted. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you want to cut these out to the size that they actually are. So, next. I'm really happy with how it came out, and it's solar powered, so no batteries required. That's also really great. There's still something we could maybe do around the doorway there to make it look a little more finished with like the faux wood project that I'm going to be doing. So with that, I might just do a little something over here. I think that brings us to the end of this project. Let's wrap it up. Would I do this project again? Yes. It was very easy. What would I change? I would have worn a respirator while cutting MDF because I recently learned that it's not good for you to breathe in, worse than sawdust. Anything else I would have done differently? No, not really. Not even the inside box. The whole fiasco that was because I didn't have to purchase any materials. I just used the other half of the sheet. Super easy peasy. The door project was one of the funner projects that was a little different than my usual ones, but overall I'm really glad with how it came out. And I forgot to record more of an outro for this, but enjoy Archie and the final word.